This is from the gentleman that wrote earlier. I'm not sure if it's a gentleman, but he has a picture of a boy, I think, a cartoon. No, I'm always distracted from the freedom of just being, because I always must do something to be alive, work, which I hate, etc. How to find the same as you, to do what you love to do, and where you help people, without any effort, pressure, manipulation. But you know what I went through to following my heart? Do you know how hard that was? To stand up against all my friends, all my family, my whole society, and to follow my heart. You look and you think, what an easy life she's got. But don't you realize I had to step out of every single box in order to follow this passion of mine? People thought I was crazy. They still do. I didn't commit to the 9 to 5 job. I didn't commit to a career. And now all my peers and friends, they have huge houses and big cars and kids and husbands, and they're advanced in their career. They're production managers and blah, blah, blah. I didn't do that. I live right on the edge. Even now with this, what I do, I don't really have savings from it. I'm always living month to month. And I doubt I ever will, because if I ever, I just don't think I'm that type of person that would like save. But it's like, I run a business. I'm not even really conscious that I run a business, but I'm running a business right on the edge. If you want to find love, you got to follow that love. You expect it to just be dropped in your lap when you're doing what you hate. But it takes a lot of strength to step away from the matrix of our society. And it's not a your doing, because there is nobody in these instruments. But that seems to be what happens. Because when you love something, you disappear. And so when you're stepping out radically, it's like, even though it's nobody's awakening, it's like what begins to happen. The body stops being blackmailed into situations that it doesn't want to do. It stops living to others' ideas of who it needs to be. And it steps away. Have you ever heard of the story of the Buddha? The Buddha was a prince that came from so much wealth, so much money, the perfect life, a paradise. He had a child, a wife, a beautiful child. And I'm not recommending that anyone does this, but I'm just telling the story of the Buddha. And he stepped out to be a beggar on the streets to find himself. He held his hands out to other people's hates, other people's judgments, other people's dislike. I mean, can you imagine, like, poor people would have been so angry at him, like somebody giving up all that. He would have received so much anger, but he stepped out of it. He walked away, and he became a beggar. For 6 years, he walked around as a beggar. And when he was hungry, he just put his food bowl out and asked for food. I sometimes think that people come and look at me and they think, ah, yes, a normal person. But I'm far from normal. If you actually hear my life story, I took so many risks. I was so brave. I really marched out into the wilderness. Okay, thank you. I understand. I should rephrase how to find the same. I should rephrase the question, how to be brave. See who you truly are. See that there is no one to be brave. That who you are is this still presence that's always here. It's never affected by anything. When the person's afraid or scared or upset or angry, who you truly are is never affected. It can never die, can never be hurt. It's always free of everything. When this begins to be seen, it takes all that weight out of being human, that you thought this was your responsibility in your life. It's not your life. It's not your responsibility. All this is an expression of the divine. And in the human form, the divine is playing forgetting itself. And the way to remember yourself, follow the love. Not the conditioned love, not the personal love, the impersonal love. Because that's all there is. And really, you'll begin to see that there's no you following the love. You always were that love. You just were forgetting it and projecting it onto objects external to you, apparently external to you. Thanks for the question.